Ramble.
This week's episode is brought to you by Shopify, Honey, and Warby Parker. Good morning, TryPod listeners. You got the Try Guys here. You got Keith. Hey. You got Zach. Hey.
Hi. Oh, fuck.
Oh, and you've got Eugene.
Shit. Sorry, I fucked it up already.
Eugene, no, it was fine.
It's because I accidentally elbowed him and I felt bad and I was thinking about him.
And so that's why you said Zach?
Oh, yeah, because I don't know.
Maybe in that moment,
Zach
Zach entered your soul and you were Zach.
We've had ourselves a little Freaky Friday moment over here.
Eugene and Zach are going to switch places.
Yeah, for the rest of the podcast, I'm going to be playing the role of Eugene today. And
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
What would I do
Eugene,
if I was
you
Zach?
have to do a Zach impression.
I'd probably just touch my hair the whole time.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Where is it? Where did it go?
Ice cold.
Oh, man.
my body is so tiny and everything hurts.
It's February, baby. We did it.
We did it.
We got through January. Now it's February.
Now we're in the stupidly spelled month.
And also, it's an extra long month because it's the leap month.
That's right.
It's leap year.
a leap year.
There's 29 days. Count them.
Man,
What are you guys going to do with that extra day?
You should have a party.
I do think instead of making it just like, adjusting the calendar, they should, when this happens, add a full-on day.
Yeah.
It just intersects after Friday, and it's called...
It's called Splatter Day.
Yeah. Ooh, that's awesome. Love that. And it's
in
just
between Saturday and Sunday.
It's just the purge.
weekend
We
day.
just all attack each other, and there's blood spatter.
Y'all,
I wish there was
leap
a special
day this
day.
year falls on a Saturday.
Oh, wow.
But
see,
to
I
your
want-
point, we want Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Splatter
Saturday,
Day.
Sunday. Yeah, I
No,
want.
but I'm calling it Splatter Day this year.
Splatter Days.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want an extra day of work. You want an extra weekend day.
You want a day to splat.
Yeah.
But if Splatter Day's
Splatting
just
around.
Taking the place of Saturday, then it's like, well, fuck, now I don't have a
I can't wait to go to the party Ned throws at his house on Splatter Day.
Splatter Day party. There's slime everywhere.
Paint, puddles.
You had a really good Super Bowl party.
That's right. I threw a Super Bowl party last weekend. It was so fun. We had so much food. There's a lot of kids that came, and I realized I'm starting to. Some of my friends now are friends with kids.
Yeah, I had a realization last night.
Friends who have kids.
wait.
Not friends with kids.
What did I say?
Friends with kids,
Friends with
which is
kids.
correct.
Friends
That's
with
good.
kids.
I'm
was-
friends
yeah.
with children.
I thought it was like Bob
You're
brought.
a friend with kids.
Okay.
Yeah,
Bob
Tyler.
brought like a 5-year-old named Madison. Was like, hey, it's my friend Madison.
Right. Yes.
She likes
I'm friends
ponies.
with kids.
Do you not consider yourself friends with Wes?
I'm totally friends with kids. I just said, if you play it back, I said, I'm friends with children. Ned is a friend with kids.
I don't know if Wes considers any of us his friends yet. Wes has discerning taste.
No.
Yeah.
He's very discerning right now.
Poor Wes, too. I mean, it was the Super Bowl, so there's some screaming, there's some shouting, a lot of it from me. And anytime that poor little dude entered the room, we would all go, yeah! And he would run away like,
He's
no,
like,
too loud.
Wes also discovered the little candy Pocky.
Oh,
The little
delicious
chocolate,
candy.
tiny little sticks.
one of the best candies to pretend is a cigarette.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He kept saying Pocky, and just wanted to grab all of the candies.
It was fun seeing Matt Pat and Steph's kid, Ollie, there too, who is around his age, maybe 6 months younger. And when
they're
they
very
came,
close together,
it was
actually.
like, well, not the same, but when you see new dogs meet each other, I was just so excited to see how they'd interact.
too.
Yeah, but they're very different because Ollie is so talkative. He just his mouth was constant, everything.
Well, Matt Pat.
would repeat everything. It was
I don't know if you've seen any of Matt Pat's videos.
It was so cute because his mom was saying developmentally, apparently, I'm not the expert on this, but I'm repeating what she said. Kids are supposed to hit certain benchmarks at certain ages, but kids are all individual. So she was like, yeah, Ollie's very talkative. But she's like, when I look at Wes, he's so strong. she's like, my son's like so wimpy next to Wes, who's like carrying
That
things.
boy full grown.
I was like, well, he is Ned's son.
There was a moment where they shared, there was a little ball pit that we had, and at one point they shared a ball with each other. It was just so cute. I was like,
That's very cute.
they're sharing.
Take this ball.
You had a ball pit?
Yeah, man.
Like in a Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah.
Dude, it was lit.
Shit.
It's more like a kiddie pool filled with balls. I see where your imagination's going. I want to
Yeah.
reel it back.
It was
Okay.
it was
I wanna-
only for children.
But for their scale,
I wanna
Tell me Keith didn't go in the ball.
I want to squash the ember in your heart, Miles.
I also there was a white teepee in the back, like one of those kids' teepees,
cool.
and I went towards it and I turned to Becky and Keith and I said, "Can you guys go inside and fondle on the couch while I play inside here while a family hides under your table?"
Wait, what?
Parasite.
Parasite
Oh,
reference.
right. Okay, I get it now.
It was pretty
Yeah,
good for
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
who was in the know, and then everyone else looked at me like really confused because Becky was like, "Yeah, Keith, come on, touch my boobies, touch my boobies."
Touch my boob.
I made a
Counterclockwise.
Yeah,
made a-
Right, that's right.
all in front of the kids.
Oh, yeah, the movie's great.
Lily Singh
These are
brought
good.
5 giant boxes of Chipotle catering. She was like, I threw a party last night, and can I bring some Chipotle?
That
And
was
I like,
Lily's?
yeah, sure. Yeah.
Oh.
Lily walked in with these big boxes because she's trying to get rid of all the catering.
You know, that's the first time I've ever
Yeah.
watched the Super Bowl with someone who was in
a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
That was so surreal.
That was pretty cool.
'Cause I heard everyone screaming. I ran in because I was waiting for the halftime show, and I was just like, "Oh my God, are we at the level now where you know someone who's in a Super Bowl commercial?" That's so bizarre. I was
proud of
astounded.
myself just
Yeah.
for being by association.
Yeah.
Everyone cheered.
It was it actually added a really wonderful stress to the game because she knew, my commercial's in the first quarter. So like commercial break came, she stood up, she's like, "Oh my God, this is."
Oh, she
how
didn't
do-
know which commercial.
No,
break.
she doesn't know.
She's-
And so she's excited, but she's nervous, and her friend has her little phone ready to film. And then she's like, and then the commercial ends. Oh, okay, it's not this. Oh, okay, we'll get him next time. And then the next commercial break goes. Oh, here we
The
go.
commercial
Here we
break
go.
is like every minute and a half. It's almost every 2 plays. Like, all right, well, we need to take a break.
It was 10 minutes of agony
Yeah.
watching Lily know that the commercial was any second and you can't look away because this is the time I need to be glued to the screen. It's only going to happen like this once.
I did feel we missed out on a great TikTok opportunity to do like a legacy YouTuber check because we had so many like 10+ year YouTubers there. We had Laura DIY, we had Matt Pat, we had Lily Singh.
Link of Rhett and
we
fame.
had Link. We had there was somebody else. Oh well, Hannah Hart was supposed to come and she didn't. I thought they were
She's too
coming.
big of a 49ers
She's actually
fan.
too big of a 49ers fan. She wanted to watch it by herself.
I get that.
And I understood it. I understood it because
Too many
I'm a
emotions.
big football fan, and I didn't even watch pretty much any of the first half.
The
I was-
Super
you know,
Bowl-
I was just
Same.
talking to people.
Yeah.
When you're a fan of the
Hosting.
team playing, the Super Bowl's not fun. It's pure stress and torture.
Right.
And when you're surrounded by people that want to chat, it's not a good time. I made a fatal flaw this year in forgetting. Actually, I've made this every year. I forget that the Super Bowl is a social event. Whereas so I was sitting on the couch and I'm just interested in watching the game. That's what I want to do. That's why I'm there. And Link and his lovely daughter are trying to just be nice and chat to me. And I'm like, I got nothing for you, man. I am the worst person to talk to at this party. I am half of my focus is just glued toward this television.
You're like, if you want to talk about Jimmy G's stats,
And how handsome he is. I'll talk about that.
So another fun, exciting thing happened this week. Eugene, you got a new dog.
I did. I teased the possibility at the end of the last TryPod, and then I, in fact, adopted a third dog.
Yay!
It was a whole journey for you though, because I want you to tell the whole goddamn saga because it was exhilarating.
Yeah,
And
it
Becky was involved.
and Becky was and Becky was there.
Becky was there.
Becky is Kimbop's surrogate mom. Yeah.
She carried.
She did. She
for
did.
9 months.
did you guys wash each other's hands?
Oh, we did so much. We did so much hand washing. Becky and I have a special relationship, meaning that we have a very similar wavelegth of humor.
Wow.
'cause
If you're
she's-
watching on YouTube, Eugene is glowing right now.
she's got like she's the straight girl that gay guys really like because she's very inappropriate. It's
Oh,
that
nice.
type of vibe. But she owns it. She loves it. Yeah. So interestingly enough, part of the deal when we moved into a new house was I told my boyfriend, with more space comes more dogs. That's like a prerogative of mine. So if we have if we can handle 2 dogs in a tiny apartment, then with a house, 4 dogs seemed like totally natural. And he said, no, for a long time. And he said, okay, 3. That's what you do to bargain. You shoot high, aim in the middle. Yeah.
Bargain tips with Eugene Lee.
Yep. So I was like, 4 dogs. We can handle it. We'll have like kind of a yard. So he agreed to 3, but he works out of town. So he, obviously it'd be better if he was here to get it. So we were more settled in, but still like contractors are there. We're still moving in. But something happened over the last weekend. Maybe it was fate. We were playing with this person's Frenchie puppy at a cafe while we were having lunch. And just out of just playing with this pup, I start looking at this a pet finder I had notifications from.
Oh boy,
This
you
an
get
app
push.
or?
It's like an app where I get notifications about dogs from the pound to just fit like size and age and weight of the dog we were looking for, which is like terrier-ish, muddish, something small. Basically like anything
Wow.
like Pesto or Emma.
I mean, can you imagine getting push notifications of dogs like
It's
frequently?
torture. I don't know why I did that
You
to
would
myself.
adopt a
Little
dog in
sweetheart
like
needs a
20
home
hours
right now.
yeah.
Are you gonna say no?
Follow my mom on Facebook. It's the exact same thing. She shares, I'm not kidding, 5 rescuable animals a day.
It is a totally like a middle-aged woman thing on Facebook for sure. So
And that's the Venn diagram where you and middle-aged women meet.
Yep, my phone was like a subscription to Keith's mom, but yeah, it was interesting because when I looked just that morning, and this is very rare, 2 full Frenchie puppies were going to be available for adoption Wednesday morning. So that Wednesday morning, so like in 4 days. And typically I was like, no, we don't really want to, but just because we were just playing with one, I was like, oh, can I go check these out? And Matt goes, okay, sure. And so I call them in advance and they say, well, if you're going to come, you have to come before 9 a.m., between 8 and 9 a.m., because we have to raffle them off. Because apparently with, shelters, they know that if you happen to have a very young dog, like a puppy, or a full breed dog, they are going to be super popular because typically they cost more than $1,000 to get a dog from a breeder. So
Can I shade this in for you on your behalf too?
Yeah.
Is I know that you love Frenchies and there are a lot of breeds that you love, but Eugene's the kind of guy that has is it like a moral obligation when it comes to adopting dogs where you know that there's so many dogs in shelters in needs of homes, you would never consider going to a breeder of any sort. It's just not in the equation for you.
No, it's just my thing, I guess. I certainly just I've always really liked dogs, and I had a couple dogs growing up from the pound, so I just always knew, and it's just so sad. But regardless,
But this is rare. This
Yeah,
is like
this is
you
rare.
have a Frenchie, which is a coveted, very expensive dog that has somehow found its way
to
into
the
a
pound.
shelter.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll like check it out. Who knows? Maybe I'll get like a Frenchie. But I went, and right when I arrived with Becky, the parking lot was full of like 60 to 70 people.
Whoa.
Not exaggerating.
Not
Whoa.
exaggerating. Waiting. They put their applications
crazy.
in. They were all waiting to nab these puppies. And what's interesting
Like
is
the Black Friday.
yeah, it was the Black Friday of dog adoption because with breeders, like you go and you pay a certain amount and it's a very different process, and it's obviously if you can afford it, you go, and it's a targeted thing. You want to get this type of dog. But at the shelters, it's like basically like the lottery. So if you go, you are putting in your bid to pay like $100 to get this full bred dog. And this happens a lot. I talked to them afterwards. It happens a lot with full breed dogs and puppies and they always have a date that they become available. So basically they handed out the tickets to everybody who qualified with their application, which was still like 50 to 60 people. And then they just pulled a ticket, and one Frenchie went to this dude and one Frenchie went to that dude. And that was it. And the worst thing about it, already I was feeling kind of icky because right when we got there, I turned to Becky and I said, I feel really weird about this. I feel gross that I'm like standing around for like to get a puppy, because as we're standing in the parking lot, just behind the gate, you see rows and rows of kennels of of like mixed little mutt dogs like crying. And I was just
Those
sitting
60
there.
people are like, I'll do it for a Frenchie,
They'll
but
do it for a Frenchie.
Yeah.
And the biggest indicator of that was right when the raffle was over. I'd say 99% of people just booked it. They just left. And then I was
Frenchie or
standing there.
bust.
Yeah, I was standing there going like, because I think part of
I want my dog to have breathing problems.
exactly.
Big ears, big ears.
Yeah.
understand why those people wouldn't just go to a breeder at that point.
Well, because they can't afford it, probably.
Oh.
Yeah, because breeders are expensive. It was a situation where certainly I think my boyfriend.
So it truly is the Black Friday of puppies.
It is the Black Friday puppies. They wanted that widescreen TV. They didn't get it. They leave. But I think he kind of knew I probably wouldn't get the puppy, so he was just like, yeah, go check it out.
So Eugene, you got in for the doorbuster deal, and then
I
You
left
also
with a
stayed for the other merchandise.
yeah. I came in for the widescreen new release. Like
You got a standard definition.
Markdown
tube
standard definition. Exactly. And so
Remember
I
HD DVD players? Eugene went home with one of those. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Those are
yeah.
good.
I
Still works.
are good.
Just not a Blu-ray.
I texted my boyfriend and said, "Yo, I think
Yo. That's how
Well,
you
'cause
talk to your
it was
boyfriend.
also like, yeah, it was like,
Yo, boy.
Actually, we are very casual. We're like Keith Becky level casual. No PDA, no touching, no touching. I went, yo, I feel like you would have felt gross about this too. So it's probably my ethical prerogative to walk around the shelter at least, just like browse. And he goes, yeah, go for it. So I walked around, and of course, I just can't walk in and not leave with something. Again, Black Friday style. But for me, it was more like, oh, I have to like help one of these dogs. But I think I've developed a sixth sense with shelter pups. Emma's a different story because Emma I saved from a roommate who was going to get rid of her after he got her from a shelter.
Yeah.
Pesto was Pesto was like $60. He was in the pound. He was matted. His back was
They paid you $60 to adopt
basically, yeah. He was a puppy, but he was scalloped. His whole back was open, like a Resident Evil movie.
Oh, that's why he has that big scar.
That's why he has the big scar. Yeah.
Worst use of the word scallop.
He was scalloped, yeah.
I
So
love
like no one wanted him. He was this like weird little puppy standing in the corner, but Matt was like, I think he has a good personality. When we played with him, he brightened up. So when we walked through the kennel, Pesto was with us, which he wasn't supposed to be, but we ended up walking around with him.
Yeah.
And all the dogs were barking. And the first thing you do is you target the dogs who are like curious but interested. And Kimbop ended up being one of those dogs. So when we played with him, his personality just lit up like a fucking firecracker.
Yeah.
And then basically within the next few hours, he was mine.
He's a little sweetie too.
He's sweetie,
He
yeah.
fits in. He like came into the office, immediately came up to everybody. He's licking, he's wagging. He's a
Yeah.
part of the community.
He's licking, he's wagging,
Yeah.
he's doing what doggies do. Buying glasses can be an extremely stressful experience. You're basically choosing what your face looks like. And for so long, it was something that I stressed over so much. But Warby Parker came in, and they've made it easy, they've made it fun, and they've made it in a way that you're just like, why hasn't it always been like this? With Warby Parker's Home Try-On Kit, you can shop online for different styles, see what you like. They'll send you 5, and then you get to decide which one you want to keep. Send the rest back, no charge, no foul.
Glasses start at just $95, including prescription lenses. And lenses include anti-glare and anti-scratch coatings.
That's another thing. Glasses can be really expensive. I think people really underestimate that, and Warby Parker has found a way to make them stylish and affordable. And then if you want to have a bunch of different, like you can buy 5 Warby Parker pairs for the price that some places charge for one. And you can have a different little glass for every day of the week.
And they have a free home try-on program. So you can order 5 pairs of glasses and try them on for free for 5 days. There's no obligation to buy. It ships free and includes a prepaid return shipping label, so you don't even have to worry about it. Head to warbyparker.com/tripod to take the quiz and order your free home try-on.
And you've heard me talk about this. They have a pair of glasses called the Eugene. What's there to lose? Go do it. We can all have Eugene on our face. That's awesome. And now introducing Scout by Warby Parker. Comfortable, breathable, and affordable daily contact lenses. Wow, that sentence surprised me as I read it. I didn't know. They're made from super moist material that resists drying for lasting hydration and comfort. Wow, Warby Parker's got contact lenses now too. What can't they do?
Order a trial pack that includes 6 days worth of contacts for only $5 and then receive $5 off your next Warby Parker order. Learn more at warbyparker.com/tripod.
And I'm not putting my placing my bets yet, but I have a feeling Kimbop's going to be a little bit of a favorite for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because his now that his like kennel cough is going away and he's acclimated and he's not as scared anymore, he's kind of a spasmataz.
Yeah.
Like he's fetching, but he's both a cuddle monster and a spaz.
Yeah.
And those are two elements that people really like in dogs. So yeah, he's gonna be a keeper.
But what a weird process now, because you have a 4-year-old dog and you're
and
not
he's 4.
training,
Yeah.
you're learning what does he know.
Yeah.
So he's potty trained, but we don't know if he's crate trained. Does he know how to play fetch? Like what are
He certainly does not know his name.
well
No, not yet.
No, because I just have to use a different tone. I'm like, Kimbop! And then he'll look at me. But he certainly was raised by someone else and had
Yeah.
a name.
And we don't know the name.
Yeah,
'cause he
I have
was
no
just
idea what his name
abandoned.
was.
Dale.
No. Yeah.
What
it
if you,
was
yeah, just
something.
try every name.
Yeah, I started making.
See what
One
it
night
was.
I started like yelling different syllables at him, but he just kept looking at me.
What if he only
Regardless.
what if he only responds to Zach? Would you call him Zach?
That's gonna be confusing.
Hell no. But I did get him a green harness,
He's me.
which a lot of people thought the harnesses like were the Try Guys colors. I thought it was more,
Oh, cute.
Huey, Dewey, Louie, starter Pokemon,
Yeah,
Powerpuff Girls.
Pokemon.
He does kind of look like the Charmeleon to Pesto's Charizard. Like I
a
feel
little
like he
bit.
kind of has. He looks like
Pesto
Pesto
is
to me.
Charizard.
Pesto. Well, you wouldn't expect him to be, but
Pesto's like Ivysaur at best.
I don't think
Yeah.
being Charmeleon is not a compliment. Is he the hottest mid-tier of the original 3 Pokemon? Yes, of course. But all of the middles are the awkward teenagers.
Wartortle looks dope. Are
Yeah.
you kidding?
Mary
You think
Fu-
Wartortle's hot?
yeah.
Hotter than Charmeleon.
Oh,
Dude,
bro.
have you looked?
Bro.
Have you even
Bro.
looked?
Have you ever fucked a Pokemon?
Hold on. Let's.
We can all say though that Ivysaur is just unfortunate looking.
Ivysaur is
So
ugly.
sad. It's so
I
sad.
would
when-
bang Ivysaur.
No, you would not bang Ivysaur.
I would bang him and I would treat him to a dinner.
Wartortle is definitely hot.
Okay, let me see this.
Okay, look at.
It's been a
Wartortle.
while.
He's got the cool
Look at that
fluffy-
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you're
Doesn't
so
he have
right.
sunglasses on?
He's
No,
yoked.
that's you're just remembering the island of Squirtles from that one
episode.
episode.
Wait,
Is that the official illustration though, or is that some fan bullshit?
This is
Because
on the
that's a hottie.
Pokemon.com Wartortle
What about
Pokedex shot.
Charmeleon?
Now,
Just search-
Charmeleon, get ready for a dude who doesn't look good.
Okay, you know what? A big man accepts when he's wrong, and I would totally fuck Wartortle. You're right. He's a hot mid-tier Pokemon.
Look at this dope.
Yeah.
Charmeleon.
Charmeleon kind of looks like a dweeb.
He's got no biceps.
Charmeleon looks like a fuckboy though.
Yeah, I
Charmeleon leaves you on red.
But I think
Okay, I see where you're going with that.
I think
All
the
right,
second
all right.
the second evolution of the mid tiers is basically puberty for a lot of them.
really skinny
Yeah,
shoulders
yeah.
and just
They all
giant
look awkward.
hands.
I googled sexy Wartortle and a lot of fun stuff came up.
Oh,
do
I'm
not-
doing that.
Do not Google sexy
Don't-
any Pokemon.
Yeah,
I
don't
was
do it.
Googling scalloped to try to see if that was a term for being cut. And then I went down a rabbit hole of a condition called scalloped tongue, which
don't
is where the
Google it.
edges of your
Don't-
tongue look like a
Google it.
seashell. And that, it was pretty cool looking. And I'm like, oh, yeah, because I only know about my tongue disorder. And there's a whole bunch of tongue disorders.
Connect.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like what turtles have, right? Their tongues are like hard.
It wasn't like that. They more looks like they have like whoop, 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 whoop around their tongue. And for you listeners, I'm drawing little edges
scallops.
around the tongue, like a scallop shell, like how
Oh.
it has the little loops.
Yeah.
I would also like to go back about 20 seconds ago. I would say don't Google sexy Wartortle, but if you did, you would find that there is a subsection of, it's like where furries and Pokemon meet.
Huh.
And so these are humanoid sexy drawings of Pokemon, and
Yeah.
I don't like this one bit.
Well, I'm in it now.
What other sexy Pokemon do you want to
Not
look
gonna
up?
lie, I ain't mad at that.
What is the sexiest Pokemon?
I guess it also
Besides
upsets me.
Ninetales.
It upsets me that
sexiest
they're all
Pokemon?
women because I expected them to be like yoked dudes. Sexy
Nah.
Charizard is a busty lady. Look at that. That's not fun.
Yeah, we're gonna order that from
It's
DeviantArt.
huge.
No, there's a
That's
big
very busty.
subculture of illustrators who immediately draw like sexy versions of new characters from
Yeah.
Pokemon especially, but other pop culture things.
Any,
It's all
like-
over Twitter.
Guys,
Yeah.
sexy Snorlax is either ripped or looks like one of the people in Cats. This is so funny.
Whoa.
Isn't Snorlax
wow.
the big guy?
Yes,
Yeah.
Snorlax
Yeah.
is fat.
Sexy Snorlax is kind of, cool.
So I got Pokemon Sword for Christmas, and I'm playing the first ever Pokemon that I've ever played in my life. So I get all of these jokes now. Pretty exciting for me. I played about like 45 minutes worth, so I know a thing or two. I
Wait, who's
can
your
throw
start-
a
who's your starter?
Pokeball.
Are you using one of the new ones?
Yeah, it has to.
I only know him by the name Thunderfart.
Are you still naming your Pokemon
Hell
silly
yeah.
name?
Wait, did you pick Score Bunny?
I picked Score Bunny.
Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah.
He
I-
actually evolves into someone that looks like he plays like mixed martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to be a soccer player.
He's like a soccer
Yeah,
player.
I liked
Yeah.
him how he kicked, so I named him Thunderfart though.
That's pretty funny.
So you named him like a lightning type?
Huh?
You named him like an electric type Pokemon.
It's a fire
Oh
type.
right, yeah, they're electric types. I'm aware.
This is your first one. Your first
You know,
Pokemon.
I walk through the tall grass at night.
I only named one Pokemon. It was just one of those stupid sheep, and I just named it Sheep.
Honestly,
That's good.
it's kind of a grind. I don't really want to keep playing it.
Yeah.
Because
You gotta
just
get-
leveling up all my Pokemon, it was fun for a while, and now I'm like, man, this would be a lot more fun when I was 9.
Once you
I
realize
had
the
patience
thrill
for
of
this.
having a bike in Pokemon, you'll never be able to go back.
bike?
Yeah,
Yeah, when
you
you
get
get
a
the bike, it's
bicycle.
good.
You're just zooming through that tall
Then
grass.
you get a bike that can go on the water, and then you can zoom around on the water.
Oh, you ride on your Dratini's head or something.
Not anymore,
In this
dude.
game, you get a bike that goes on the water.
Yeah.
Well, I don't like that one bit. I want to ride my Pokemon.
You can't ride a Dratini. You
That's
kill it.
in the
Yeah.
game.
You ride a Lapras.
And
Dratini.
Oh, yeah, you can ride any of
it
them.
looks like a Dratini.
Yeah, it does.
But any little you could ride a Magikarp.
Why do you have to teach the fish how to swim? Hold on, wait a minute. Swim was a learnable, a teachable thing, and you had to teach water
fish.
Pokemon swim or surf or whatever it was. They're in the water.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's not that doesn't track.
They
Before it
taught
was just
surf. It was surf, not swim. Surf.
I'd like to issue a correction. It's surf.
It's surf. Nobody. I know people are already about to tweet at me.
going at us.
Fuck off.
No, I'm not going to tell them that.
Keith
Yeah.
wants you to fuck off.
Come on over. You can tweet at me if you want. People tweet
Keith,
me all the time.
you had an exciting thing happen to you this week.
Well, yesterday I was getting ready to go see a couple house showings, some open houses before I went to Ned's bomb-ass Super Bowl party. And I'd really made all the time work. I'm like, I have enough time to go to these houses, pick up the cheese plate that I got, and go to Ned's. Now, as I was pulling out, I was looking to my left, and I was on Los Feliz Boulevard, a very trafficked street. And I looked, and I saw, okay, there's a lot of people in my lane. I waited probably a full minute, signaling, waiting, and then finally a huge gap occurred. I'm like, great, I'll pull out now, as you do when you learn how to drive. And at that exact time, somebody who was in the lane over decided they were going to merge into the lane that I was pulling out in. There was no reason for them to do this. There was no traffic. There wasn't like the lanes in front of us. There was a better lane. There was no reason for this guy to do this. But he came in as I was coming out. No way for me to see him. A million ways for him to see me. And he hit me. And so
Maybe he just wanted to meet you.
maybe
He was a fan.
And I've only been hit ever once in my life. I got rear-ended once in Phoenix.
That was driver's side, right?
Yeah.
If I'm understanding it
Very
correctly.
close to hitting me actually in the door. Luckily it hit just the front left bumper. Didn't hit, no tire damage, so that's good. It really not that serious of a hit. In fact, his car took more damage than mine because he sideswiped his whole right side and he just hit my corner. But the funny part about this was I didn't see coming is that he was from the UK and he was on his way back to the airport to return the car. So he had a rental car. So I was like, oh, this is going to be a shit show now because he's not even from this country. So I don't know how those insurances work. And he had a rental car.
Goddamn colonizer.
I know, right? But I called Progressive, and they were sweet little angels. And they said, it's actually good that it was a rental car because rental cars have so many insurances to try to bill. So you've got that guy's actual normal car insurance, which is probably European. You've got Avis's standard car insurance that they have on their end. You have the one where there's a waiver that he did sign to accept that he bought their insurance. And the credit card which you buy it on normally has some sort of rental car insurance. So there's 4 insurance companies.
Oh.
Yeah, Keith, is your neck okay? Because we're about to fake an injury.
I know. It was fine, and he was chill, and we worked it out. But it wasn't bad. I did have a little bit of arm soreness later in the evening, probably from just where I 10-step when I got hit, because it was just my steering wheel.
So you're telling me that if I rent a car, I could just crash into anybody and it's chill.
Zach, that's not the takeaway of the story.
That's a takeaway because
Well,
there was a
true.
rental car. I can go to Britain. Rent
It was
a car.
It was funny when I was on the phone with the guy because I was like, "Okay, do you have his address?" I'm like, "Yeah, but just so you know, it's going to sound different because he's not from this country." And it started with flat 111, and he and I both just laughed. It was like,
You know,
A fun laugh.
yeah.
They format their.
that makes
addresses
sense
different.
because when I went to South Africa, they forced everyone to get the additional car insurance on the car, like at the rental car agency. I'm normally like, decline, I have my own insurance. I got the credit card thing. But this was like mandatory. So we rented a car, drove all around South Africa for like 3 weeks. And at the end, we got into a little fender bender.
Nice.
Things looked crazy and it was a foreign country for us.
Because, you want to have a good time. Crash your car. When you're on vacation,
that's part of
crash
renting
your
a car.
car.
Last
We were
day,
trying
beat it
not
up.
to. And then we returned it and they were like, yeah, it's fine. We'll fix it.
That's awesome.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's. I will say, when you're at that counter, they're like, now if you do this, if anybody breaks into it, or if you cash, and it's your fault, it won't matter. You can just do it. And I've always been like, so if I like literally signed that and then went to the parking lot and ran it into a beam, you'd be chill with that? And you're like, well, we don't advise you to do that. And I'm like, yeah, but like, just let me understand. If I crash it right now, you will just give me another car?
Yeah.
And I could just do that indefinitely?
Guys, I think I'm going to sell my car. I want to live this consequence-free life. Why am I driving around like a chump, always fearing the dings and the scratches? I could just be bumper carring my way through life.
I was, shaken up. I don't ever get hit often, and it is like a scary thought, and it just makes you think like, oh, this happens all the time in LA, and you see like other serious accidents. So I was happy that it was not a serious accident.
The sound of crunching metal
Oh,
is so horrifying.
it was so funny too because I pulled out and he hit me. And I was like, I went, oh, fuck. And then I immediately got mad because I knew this is this person's fault. And it looked like he was like driving away, but he just drove another block to pull over because there wasn't a spot. And I just got like such an immediate rage. Like, oh, fuck this. I was just so mad because I just like, man, I'm going to have to sit here for an hour and a half and figure out this shit now because someone's negligence. And that was like, now I don't have time to go see those open houses.
Yeah.
That's
What up?
annoying.
I missed out on the house of my dreams.
What if you missed the one?
It was meant to be.
Maybe.
Yeah, they must have been bad houses.
I hope so.
You know that Honey is the free online shopping tool that automatically finds the best promo codes and applies them to your cart. And you know how great it feels to save. But do you know how it feels to save with Honey?
Saving with Honey, it feels like swinging by the grocery store and they say, oh, there's only one sample left. It's yours.
It feels like when you were a kid and you blew bubbles and you're like, wow, this is amazing. I wonder if life will be this exciting forever. It won't. But with Honey, you get that luster back.
Honey's great. We use it all the time. We buy a lot of stuff to run our company. We buy hard drives, we buy computers, we buy cameras. But when we use the Honey extension, we get Honey points, we get discounts, we get savings. We can accrue it all together to buy more hard drives.
I was out shopping. I was like, I don't know if I like this jacket. Oh, you know what? If I buy it online with my Honey, I bet I'll save some money. And I did.
Honey has found its over 18 million members, over $2 billion in savings with a B.
Using Honey feels pretty great. Think of it as a little daily victory. Plus, it's free to use and installs in just a few seconds.
Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/tryguys. That's joinhoney.com/tryguys. Save some money, honey.
Oh, it feels like when you're Winnie the Pooh and you realize you don't need to wear pants because you're a bear and you love honey. I brought it back.
Oh, wow.
There was a day, not exaggerating that crashes happen in LA all the time. There was on Maggie's birthday. So this was back in November. I saw 3 car crashes in a single day. There was one right outside the window of the place where we were throwing the party. It was this huge. You heard a screech and a crash, and we looked outside. I mean, no one got hurt in any of these accidents, thank God. Then after the party, we're going down the 10, driving. Someone stops in front of me. I brake. And I had to brake, somewhat abruptly because they had to brake somewhat abruptly. It's kind of like that accordion effect. And then as I immediately look into my rear view mirror and I see the car coming at me way too hot. And it slams on the brakes, screeches, barely misses me, but then gets rear-ended twice.
Yeah.
And it was like, all I could do was watch the impending doom through that little rectangle mirror.
I had that happen to me, except I did get hit. And they hit me so hard that it pushed my car into the car in front of me.
Oh, man.
That's the only other time it happened. But I did the same thing. This person stopped. I screeched, just barely didn't hit them. And I looked at my rearview mirror and I'm like, oh, no. And I was like, Becky, hold on. We're about to get hit. And we
It's
did.
scary.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
You know how my car is really shitty?
Yeah.
Like mythically
Really bad,
shitty.
yeah, and we
So
made it worse.
Parts of it were already replacement parts, like the bumpers. because I've gotten hit so often.
Yeah.
Let's run through. Your paint is scratched and chipped all over. Your air conditioning is non-functional.
Yeah, for a couple years now.
What else? You have no radio.
Yeah, it's an
airbags
old
are full
shitty
of
car.
Play-Doh.
But it's a Civic, so it's still purring like a little kitty. But one time I was directing a music video and I had to go find a samurai helmet for it. So I was shopping, and because this was a classic samurai helmet that was very delicate, I had to put it on in the car. So I was wearing a samurai helmet. This is pre-digital work
But
when I
you
was.
had to put it on.
Yeah, I had
That
to put
was
it
the
on.
safest
It was
way.
cool, but I was.
Why was
it's
it
when
so-
I was directing a lot of music videos, and
You couldn't like
This-
put it on the seat.
no, but I just had this big ass samurai helmet car. I was driving it home really delicately, and I got rear-ended like so hard that the entire back bumper I had to replace it. It was like crunched all the way in, and then we pull over, and it was this big van, and I walk
You
out.
get out. With
I walk out with the samurai helmet on, and I'm actually like a really like weird. I'm just so nice to strangers.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know who this is, and I turn, and it's this really large van, and it was probably like a family of like 8 kids, and the guy comes down. He's so like apologetic, and he couldn't speak much English, and I just was like, dude, it's cool. Just go on. You're fine. His car weirdly didn't have much damage. Mine was just like totaled in the back. But he came out and was just like so confused, and he looked at me, and obviously I looked strange because he was like, "Do you speak English?" Because I'm wearing a samurai helmet, and I was like, "Whatever it is."
Are you from this time?
Yeah,
sir?
I come out with my sword, and I was like, you go on ahead, and I like waved at the kids, and they left. But then I had to replace the bumper.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I've had weird.
Yeah. Did you tell your insurance about it?
I told my insurance about it. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but I didn't want have to make them pay.
Did
for
they make
anything.
you feel bad for not getting the other guy's insurance?
Probably. I don't think he had insurance though. That's the thing. He definitely didn't have insurance. So, I was like, bye.
Probably best to not ruin his life.
Yeah. So that was fine. A stupider story is once I was in the Target parking lot underground, and I totaled the entire side of my car because I saw a butterfly.
I know this.
Oh my god.
I was turning to park. You know how there's like pillars in underground parking spots?
Gene.
I was just in one of those artsy fartsy moods, and I like see this butterfly like flat past my driver's window, and I'm like watching it as I'm turning to park. And for some fucking reason, it's one of those moments you have where like time and space stopped, and I thought like
butterfly in the parking lot.
are we all not butterflies trapped inside of a Target parking lot?
Right.
Like,
Of
is
course.
that not like capitalism at its worst? Because I'm like, how is this butterfly going to escape? And as I'm thinking this, like as like time stands still, I had turned
beautiful
probably
creatures,
like
though.
maybe 6 inches too close to the pillar, and it hits the side of my passenger door, and it just runs all the way along, all the way to the back.
Why
tire.
did you not stop
Because I was looking at the
upon
butterfly.
initial
You
impact?
didn't hear the.
Because by the time I realized,
Ned, a
I was-
butterfly does not know how to stop. A butterfly merely flaps its wings.
By
and
the time I
continues through
realized
life.
I had like totaled the right side of my car, the butterfly flitted out of my view.
That's funny. I thought it was a situation where you heard the crunch and then you were like, well, the only way forward is through.
No, it was clearly
my
emerge
back
from
up.
the cocoon, the butterfly must struggle just as the car must scratch against the wall.
I must have looked like the biggest because it was a crowded parking lot too, and everyone was staring at me. I got out of the car, and
Crunch.
they're just like, "Why did that guy just
Screech.
slowly like run his entire car along this pillar?" But yeah, it was. But it was one of those moments. I was like, "Why does life? Why does
Why
it?
does life?
Why does life? Is life worth it
guys
as it is
ever-
now?"
You guys ever wreck your parents' car in high school?
Oh, yeah.
Any bumps,
Yeah.
any scratches?
Oh yeah.
No, my
the
parents only
worst.
gave me like the leftover shitty car. I had such a shitty car that every morning I had to pour a gallon of water into the engine coolant because they had a coolant leak. And instead of fixing the leak, they're like, well, you can just put water in it every day. And so I'd also have to do that when I left high school because it would be empty. So I'd have to go into the band room, fill up a jug of water, and then in the parking lot pour it into my car.
Oh, yeah.
Just to drive the mile home. Yeah.
I
I had a scratch of my mom's car that was really a little bit more than a scratch where I hit a parked car because I was like driving like a bunch of friends, except they weren't friends. They were just kind of people I knew.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I didn't really know them that well. We were going to some shared activity. And so like there's this one guy that's kind of a jerk, and I was like, I don't think I can fit between those two things. And he's like, oh, yeah, you can. Like, you won't. Like, I bet you can. Like, something where, like, trying to, like, upset me to say, oh, yeah.
Only a little bitch couldn't get through. Only a
Something
little
like
bitch
that.
couldn't through those cars.
Couldn't thread that needle. And I was affected by that, and I was like, all right, I'm not a little bitch, so I suppose I can thread it. Probably a little bitch can thread that needle. And I tried to thread the needle, and I crashed into a parked car. But the joke's on him because I think it was his mom's car.
Oh, that you scratched?
I was picking him up at his house.
Oh, damn.
I love that this is just becoming adventures in shitty vehicles.
Yeah.
My first car when I moved to LA, I didn't want my parents to help me out anyway. So I came with just the money that I had, and I bought an $800 car. And it was exactly what you would expect. It was a lemon from the second I bought it. I mean, it gave me a year and a half to 2 years of hell. And actually, no, before that, when I didn't know I was going to move here, I had a rental car, and I had a Crown Vic, which is the either old people or undercover cops. It's like a boat, a giant boat in a car. So I could change lanes on the highway without looking. People would get the fuck out of my way. Because that was either a senile old man or an undercover cop. And either way, people give you a radius.
And looking at you, I'm not sure which.
But this $800 car, it was so unbelievably shitty. It got to a point where every time I would come to a stop, everything would shut off, and so I would have to turn off the engine, restart it, and it would stall at red lights, and so and then when it got even, I'm like, I can handle that. Okay, that's fine. Get to a red light, restart the engine, we good, we Gucci. Then it would get to a point where I'm not proud of that.
We're Gucci.
I'm just embellishing.
We're not proud of it
I'm just
either.
embellishing.
Okay.
It got to the point where whenever I would start to slow down, the power steering and power braking would shut off. So I would have to hold on to the wheel and slam on the brake with all of my might and hope that I could brake in time to not hit the car in front of me. We Gucci. We good. we could get through this. Finally, I used to PA on commercials, and so we were on overnights. I was driving home at 4 a.m, and I also used to have to turn the heater on all the time so that the engine wouldn't overheat, so that all the heat would blast onto me. That's a little pro tip out there. If your engine's overheating, turn on the heater. It'll take it all, blow it in your face. Save your engine. All of a sudden, I'm like, that's weird. There seems to be some smoke coming through my radio. I pull over on the side of the highway, and the second that I stop, the entire hood is like a chimney, just a smokestack, barbecue on 4th of July. And so I get out, and it's, again, 4 a.m, middle of the winter in LA. The desert, it gets cold. I'm not dressed for it. So I just run away from my car. Because I'm like, I don't know if is it going to explode?
Is it gonna blow?
What's going to happen? So I call AAA. They're like, we'll be there in 25 minutes. I'm like, that sucks. So I'm, and also on the side of the highway, cars are just whizzing past me as fast as they can. Finally, a police officer pulls over and asks if I'm okay. I say no. And he, for whatever reason, he wouldn't let me in his car because I was shivering, but he did let me put my hands on the hood of his car to warm myself up. So I just kind of hugged the police officer's hood for about 5 minutes, and then AAA came, and I learned that you need to spend more than pennies on a car.
This podcast is brought to you by Shopify.
And Bubba Rose, and Potluck, and Papa Pal, and the TryGuys.com, and a million of other businesses.
That's right. The TryGuys.com uses Shopify to run our business. Why? Because it's great. It helps you start, sell, market, and manage our business. It does everything possible to support independent businesses like us, the Try Guys.
And that's why they included the other brands in this sponsorship. Wow, way to go, Shopify. You guys are cool. I frankly couldn't picture us using anything else but Shopify.
Yeah.
It just is easy, intuitive, and they have a great team.
And it scales up with you. You can be small, you can be medium size, you can even be a large business, all running Shopify. They're also our true business partner with 24/7 customer support. Just because we're independent doesn't mean that we're alone. they're there for us.
You know, something I like doing is going on the Shopify portal and seeing which of our products are doing well in real time. And that helps us make real decisions, yes, so that we can maximize our business, but really about getting the best products to the fans, the things that people love. So when we see that something's doing really well, we can make that shift in real time. You guys might be thinking like, wow, they're talking a lot about themselves in this Shopify ad. That's because Shopify is dope. They want us to succeed because when we succeed, they succeed, and you succeed. We all succeed together.
See all the ways Shopify is supporting independent businesses at shopify.com/independence. With an S, not an ence.
Shopify, supporting independence. And the Try Guys.
Wow.
Yeah, well, sometimes.
That makes me think of the jury duty case that I had to listen to. Did I ever tell you guys about that?
You did jury duty?
I did jury duty for like 2 weeks. It was a long case.
Wow.
And tell me if you guys think that
Were you
this
the head
person
juror? Were
was-
you like the guy who got to be like,
No,
we
no, no.
the jury.
We're the jury. Find the defendant.
Guilty.
Waste of our time. No, they picked like the oldest lady, the elder stateswoman.
Yes.
So
the jury.
tell me if you think this guy was guilty or not. It's a limousine, middle of the night, 3 a.m.
Guilty.
It stopped in the middle of the highway, not on the side of the highway, in one of the lanes. No hazard lights are on, and a cop sees this. It's just like stopped in the middle of the highway. Cop sees this, starts doing all this weaving maneuvers to slow down traffic, and like goes to the guy. And the cop sees that the guy's drunk. And the cop is like, "Sir, like you gotta pull the car off the road."
Who's in the middle of the highway?
The cop described it as the 2 lanes in, and the guy described it as half in the second lane, half in the farthest lane because he was trying to pull over to the side of the road, and the car broke down. That's what the guy's story was. The cop sees that he's drunk, asks him to pull over. And the guy gets in the car, turns it on, and then goes to the exit and pulls all the way over. So the car must not have been that much broken. Anyways, they do all these drunk tests. He's failing them.
Are you legally allowed to share the details?
so.
of
Yeah,
public
it's- it's
record?
open.
All right,
Yeah,
cool,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
They do. It's okay. Yeah, they do all of these. The hands on the face and the walking in the straight line and the alphabet. Then they take him for a breathalyzer test. He's failing the breathalyzer test, because he can't blow enough. They have to blow
Yeah, you have to blow.
certain.
Pro tip: get a rental car. Have bad lung capacity. He'll never get in trouble.
So he can't brawl hard enough.
Right. Or he's like not doing it right, or
Yeah.
not. Yeah. And they either don't have enough to like actually make a test, but whatever they get a number that's like 0.07. So he's like not technically 0.08, but he's like been drinking and was doing dangerous stuff. So what happens next? So then the guy himself, the limo driver, gets on the stand and says, this is his defense. He says, "Hey, my car was broken down, and when I was on the side of the road waiting for the tow truck, I had some beers. And then, I didn't drive drunk. It was only because the cop told me to get off the road. That's what happened."
Ooh, interesting.
Limos would be filled with
With
a bunch of
alcohol.
Yeah, because
beer.
it was
True.
the
They
end
do-
of the night.
they do
had
have
extra
alcohol.
beer.
Wait, so he drank it after the cop told him to get off the side of the road?
No, he drank it
Well-
after he stopped in the middle of the road.
Waiting
He's in
for a
the-
tow truck.
But
He's
he was in
biding
the
his
middle
time.
of the highway.
Yeah.
That's what he said. But then they brought up this scientist that was like, well, at the amount of alcohol he had, that means he would have had at least 5 drinks, and he would have had to have started drinking 4 hours ago.
Oh.
And the guy describes it as, on the side of the road, I had a beer.
Something's
What do
not
you guys
adding
think
up.
happened? Do you think that he was guilty or not guilty?
And he's clearly guilty.
He was standing on a block of ice.
Probably guilty, right? I would think most people would guess guilty.
Yeah,
Was
I mean,
he-
I wonder.
What
is
was the
like,
charge? Driving under
Was
the
it
influence?
a
That just a
DUI?
drunk
DUI?
driving charge?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it's this thing of like the burden of proof, and there's not enough to definitively say, despite the. I don't know. I mean, to me, sounds guilty as hell.
Well, we were the jury, and it was our task to decide whether
Okay, so
he was
we're the
guilty
jury.
or not guilty.
Okay.
Also, do I like the guy? You know, how are his character witnesses? Did he make a mistake?
No character witnesses, only called himself to testify.
I have a pretty low drunk driving threshold, so I'd probably.
Yeah. Also,
Always
like, what
got
if you
guilty.
just like if it's the middle of the night, he doesn't have hazards on, you could have just been flying through that freeway and just rammed him, and everyone would have died. That'd be terrible. I think it's just so negligent, regardless, to not flip on hazards. So to me, that says you're a drunk person and you were drunk.
Right.
Also, he can get fined. You know, even if it's not driving under the influence. There's
driving
one.
while intoxicated.
Yeah, right below
Yeah.
it, which you can get at any point. Anything you can get.
I think that's what they were trying him for, because if
'cause
you
it wasn't .08
you know,
anyway.
you don't have to be driving drunk to be endangering people because you're drinking in and around the road.
Okay, so what happened in the room?
We
Was
the
there
jury!
one guy?
So what happened in the room was the jury was pretty much split down the middle.
Wow.
That called
many
a hung
peop-
jury.
Ultimately, after many hours of deliberation, we couldn't reach a consensus.
And which side were you on?
I thought that he was guilty.
Yeah.
And then
The right side of history.
Well, you know,
The other half of the jury were all limo drivers.
I see where he's coming from.
Yeah, they were
Get
like-
stuck in the car. Yeah, you know.
there were some of the arguments in that room were like, well, do you want to really ruin his livelihood and his life? And I was like, somebody could have died because of what he did if they crashed into him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's the reason that this is a thing, it's a bad thing, is that it prevents other people from dying. They're like, he would lose his license. He's a-
we've all stopped our cars in the middle of the freeway once or twice. You know, sometimes your car breaks down. You have a couple beers. You know, I can relate to the guy.
Wow, so you actually, because I don't know a single person that's gotten a jury summons, gotten
Oh, yeah.
picked, sat through, done their goddamn
whole
civic duty.
thing.
You did it, and you have nothing to show for it.
No,
you
at
tried to do the right thing.
At the end, everyone was so split that we had to tell the judge we can't come to a decision.
He's like, I'll
And-
fuck all of you.
And the judge said something that stuck with me that was like, even like the decision not to be able to reach a decision is sometimes in and of itself like an indication of, I don't know, either the truth or of the fact that if not everyone can agree, that maybe that is an indication that it's more gray than not. But I was like, fuck all of you. He's clearly endangering people. This is not okay.
Wow.
I didn't say that.
How
I
old
tried
were
to
you at the
persuade
time?
them. This was like midway through BuzzFeed. So I was, it's just maybe 4 years ago.
Oh, no wonder. You were like, oh, yeah, they'll pay for me to go to jury duty for a couple days.
That's true. I mean, they did pay for your jury duty.
Oh, they
but
do?
it's still like, it feels like
Not fun.
Only
not
for
fun
2 weeks.
use of time. But it was very interesting.
well, oh God, no. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it. No.
What?
No. Why would I do this? Why did I do that?
What?
No. Okay, so basically,
Eugene,
same exact-
This is your out. If you want to change the
Okay,
topic,
I'm
you can
not
just
saying it.
No. You can just say something else.
I've just
We'll
like
never
and
know.
pretend that that's the thing you were gonna say.
okay.
I bought a bag of Granny Smith apples yesterday, and one of them was rotten, and all the apples couldn't decide if they should get the apple out of the bag or not. There was a split right down the middle. See, we did it.
I'll just say there's like
Eugene, we want to hear it. If it's
Now I
not
want to hear it because it's so conflicting.
there's
I
like
know what
such
it
a wealth of stories that my family has explicitly said don't talk about in videos, don't talk about in your podcast, don't write about it in your book. Your family has crazy stories. Maybe say it at a comedy show. They don't know about the comedy show. But yeah. Basically, that story you said literally exactly happened to someone I know personally in a different country with way funnier results.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And they were not pretending like there was a crime that was committed. They purposely parked right in the middle of the freeway and took a nap.
Wow.
Drunk.
oh, wow.
And the cops were like super okay with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Canada.
Yeah. But anyway,
That's why
It's a pretty funny
when you're
story.
from another country in America, you buy that insurance because the other country's driver insurance, maybe it's okay to do crazy accidents in the road, but here it's not, so you got to cover for it.
yeah. Different culture.
Yeah.
Different culture. Yeah.
Fascinating.
So at the end of the day, the case was thrown out. The state could have retried them if they wanted to, but it'd probably be a waste of resources, and he's gonna just go free.
That story about cars made me furious. And this week we saw the trailer release for Fast and Furious. And I just want to say one thing.
Yes.
Because we're not going to go into a whole thing. But John Cena plays Vin Diesel's younger brother. John Cena and Vin Diesel are brothers in a cinematic universe. And what's more, Vin Diesel catches a car.
Yeah.
With his hands standing on top of a car, he catches another car. He's a superhero.
Yeah.
I'm amped. It's going to be the greatest movie ever made. We're back to 5, 6, 7 peak form.
Yes.
We took a little break for 8 and Hobbs and Shaw. We had a nice little recess, but they're back, baby.
He confidently swings a car like Tarzan, like, as if he's like, this is gonna work.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's unbelievable. I mean, the helicopter jumping in a car, like that's like, oh, that's crazy. This is a car being a person.
I've never done this before. It's a 3.5-minute trailer. I had to start putting my hand in front of the screen and saying, no, it's too much awesome. I couldn't. I think my heart was doing backflips. And then at the end, Han is back. The greatest character in Fast and Furious history. We've seen him die twice.
Yeah.
Same time.
Yeah.
He's back, baby.
Wow.
I'm amped. That's all the time we have for Fast and Furious. But I just needed to get that out into the universe. If you know Vin Diesel,
Have him on the pod.
just tell him I want to hang out. I don't need to be in the movie. I just want to go by
I
and
don't
say
think
hi.
I don't think you'd be able to function around Vin Diesel.
I
You're like at an obsessive level of fandom for Vin Diesel.
Well, whether you're about to meet your favorite celebrity, maybe you were just in a fender bender, or perhaps you're thinking about adopting a dog, you could use some advice. And you can get that advice from our podcast gremlin, Miles Bonsignore, in his segment, Advice That Will Go for Miles. Hit it!
It's advice that'll go for miles. Tune it to your radio station. It's advice that'll go for miles. Everyone get ready.
Miles Nation! Miles Nation!
Go.
You didn't do the abridged version this week?
It's advice that'll go for miles.
One more time.
Advice that'll go for miles.
I'm Becky Habersberger, and this is advice that will go for miles.
What's up, Miles Nation? How's it going? How's everybody doing?
Wow.
I didn't even know about that. You did not rope Keith's wife into that intro.
When did you get Becky?
I texted her. I thought it'd be funny.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious.
Unacceptable.
What's
That
up,
was
Miles
funny.
Nation? How y'all doing tonight? We feeling good? We feeling frosty? Hello, pilgrims. Do you want to be a sexy little builder?
Bob?
Do you want to be so strategic that you know how to bang hot babes? Corn, hay, sheeps, ore, and bricks.
Oh, we're about to talk about Catan.
These are elements of the world that you can use to build a city. My advice to you is to play Settlers of Catan.
Yeah, this is the best advice that'll go for miles you've ever done. I'm here for it. Play that theme song.
Advice that'll go for miles.
16 minutes long.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Why should we play it?
Recently, this weekend on Friday, I was at a Magic the Gathering draft at
Also
a hobby
dope.
store, and I saw that they had
That's in
Settlers.
his element right now.
I saw that they had Settlers of Catan,
Yeah.
and I love it. And I had only played it a couple times, but I went back and I bought it the next day.
Boom.
Played a game of it. It is so fun. It is like, I found that like there were a couple people and they're like, I don't know, is it a strategy game? Like, I don't really know. Like, I'm not really that into that stuff. And then within 15 minutes, like, it's really easy to play. Your friends will love it. And it's strategic. And there's like a trade barter thing, like in the card game BS. You kind of get to like lie and cheat, and that's fun too.
That's right.
It's a perfect game. Very
And
fun.
ask yourself, are you a hot person? Then you should play Settlers of Catan. And if you don't think you're a hot person, I'm telling you right now, you are a hot person.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody's sexy in their own way. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
I need to state the obvious. Settlers of Catan is the nerdiest name for a game possible. It sounds, you hear that and you go, not in a million years.
I just think beige.
The color beige.
I think it's like a sort of a burnt yellow.
The cover is a lot of golden fields.
But the game itself is very fun and not what the name suggests. And the barrier of entry is not that intense. It's very fun. And yeah, you jumped over that. But bartering, you basically just get to hoard cards and then make your friends pay exorbitant prices for it and become a little snake oil salesman. It's very fun.
Unless you roll a 7, in which case you lose all your cards.
Ned loves board games.
I do love board games.
I'm big in. Honestly, we went to this Magic the Gathering draft, and I was like, we went with Will, and we were just like, oh, we should do this at second try. We all get 3 packs, and we do a draft with like 6 people.
That sounds great.
I'd
We'll
play a draft.
force everyone to do it.
Yeah.
Force
Rachel and Alexandria.
spring outing instead of going somewhere fun. We're going to force everyone to buy in. And
It will have to be optional, but it is really fun.
All right, I'm gonna take the others to a party at a bar.
Yeah.
And y'all can hang out here and play the
board game.
Suitlers
Rent out
of
the back room.
Cthulhu.
That
the bar for
sounds
us.
like a win-win.
Honestly.
Because I would rather do board games at home.
Yeah. Very fun.
Just don't. You guys tried to have me play it once. It wasn't
Well,
an
we
RV
tried
that
to
was
play it on an
bouncy.
RV that then almost rear-ended someone.
Yeah.
And
It
it
was-
just went
We try to
flying.
play it in a bumpy car.
But
hard.
even during the explaining it, my mind started just like zoning out.
Yeah.
I did like Dungeons and Dragons when we tried it for a video.
My advice for that is like, that's hard. It's really hard to get people who don't know how to play a board game to learn the rules without them getting like bored and stressed and want to just hang out and talk to each other. And my advice is always start playing. Like before they're ready, start playing and be like, oh, now you do this.
You
And
don't
they'll be
have
like,
to explain every little thing.
Yeah.
Someone will always make a mistake. It's fine. Even if it like ruins the game, it doesn't ruin the game because you're playing the game. You're having fun.
Challenge of Settlers too is that the beginning of the game is like the longest, slowest part,
Right.
it has the capacity to be because people you're trying to strategically place your first 2 pieces. So if you just breeze past that and just let the first game be the game where you're all learning, then you're going to be in a better place to succeed.
Exactly.
I'll tell you that Maggie, who's not a board game person, played it, and after 2 games, loved it. 3rd game, beat everyone playing. So it is capacity is there.
And it's just competitive enough, right? You're trading, so it's cooperative, but you're also, there's a couple of things where like you're competing to see who has a longer road by building little bricks. And let's just say you don't want to cut off your loved ones.
Oh, yeah. Have you got advice about that?
Yeah. If I try to avoid
Ariel.
Being married changes how you are allowed to play board games. I will 100% say that.
I got to win on my own merits. It's usually not a good idea if I win by screwing over Ariel. Because that's totally a great way to play if you're not married.
You've won the battle, but you've lost the war.
Oh, yeah. You've lost the war hard.
Settlers really ushered in like this new era of board games. I think it was that is credited with it, and then Cards Against Humanity kind of brought card games back to the party forefront. But we're living in a little board game renaissance
It's
right
huge.
now.
Insulting that you say them in the same breath.
Yeah, they're very different.
I don't hold them in the same regard, but Cards Against Humanity was that game that made
You're right.
people at
People
parties
played,
realize,
yeah.
like, oh, games are fun, and
Yeah.
it can be social.
Instead of saying a funny joke, I can just put a card down. That's a funny joke.
Who needs a personality when a card has one for you?
Yeah, sometimes not everybody's super, super funny, and that makes everybody in the room pretty funny.
That's
so
true.
I get that. I get what the appeal of that.
You guys all about Quiplash, right?
Yeah, I was going to
Quiplash
actually
is
just
so
mention
fun.
that. Honorable mention, Quiplash. Also, Betrayal at House on the Hill. Another great board game.
That's a good game.
Pandemic.
It's spooky.
Also
Pandemic's
good.
good.
That's
I
a good
like
board
Pandemic
game.
too because it's about the players working together to beat the game.
Yeah.
Rather than the players playing against each other in the game.
Right.
So I love games where it's us as a team taking on the game itself. And a reason that House on Haunted Hill is great is because when you start out, there's no villain.
Yeah.
And then one of you becomes the villain.
It's
And
very
that's
fun.
what's super fun. And like in middle of the game, suddenly, oh shit, Zach's possessed and he's a demon, and now we all have to beat Zach. And
Yeah.
Zach gets special powers to beat us more easily because it's 1 versus 3.
Yeah.
I'm a demon.
Yeah,
I'm a
fun.
demon.
Fun game.
Yeah, very fun.
Which board game allows you to catch a car like Vin Diesel?
Fast and the Furious.
Tabletop.
Tabletop
card game.
Catan.
Yeah, I mean,
Fast and Furious
Catan
Monopoly.
technically does allow that, but you just kind of have to imagine it.
Ah, what a time.
What a time.
So many good
indeed.
stories today. I think we had a good time, didn't we?
Ha 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 ha. Hey, Good story, Ned.
Yeah, thank you.
Good story, Eugene.
Good story, Zach.
Thanks, Zach.
Way to go, Keith. Good
Thanks.
story.
Ned.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Keith.
Miles,
for listening.
You did your thing.
Thanks.
Yeah, good
Thanks.
theme song. Yeah. Hey,
Be
and
sure to
listeners, good
subscribe.
listening.
Good listening. Great job. Great job, you, for listening to this podcast. Now, one
I'm
more
proud of
thing
you.
is to just subscribe and leave us a 5-star review because you'll get to know what new podcasts come out. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that bell. You'll get a little push notification, just like Eugene's adoption dogs, when we have new podcasts. And for more of the TryPod, head on over to patreon.com/tryguys to listen to the Try Guys
Post thoughts.
podcast.
AKA the afterpod.
I always want to call it the
sometimes.
afterpod.
I forgot to say,
'cause we
but
record it afterwards.
last week we teased the idea of making a music playlist for you guys, and enough of you, and by that I mean 3 of you asked for it, and that's enough for me. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna post that on patreon.com/tryguys. It'll be a public link, but we'll do a nice Spotify playlist of Zach's hot jams.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So you get that to look forward to.
Join our Triceratops community.
We got mugs.
Yeah.
All right, enough of that plug-in bullshit. This has been fun. This has been the TryPod. We'll see you next time. Keith, hit us with the official TryPod theme song.
It was a great day. We shared all of our stories. I hope you got to the place you were headed in your car, listeners. It's a tripod.
Until next time, stay beautiful.
Hey, Miles, did we get anyone making us theme songs? Did you check?
I did check. I'm waiting till there's more, and then we're going to play them.
Keep them coming.
Keep them coming.